Who would God choose to spread his gospel to those in China, who had never heard of salvation in Jesus Christ? You may think God made a mistake in his choice, but God doesn't make mistakes. Gladys Aylward was born in 1902, receiving minimal education and lacking any opportunities for success. However, at the age of 18, her encounter with Christ ignited a passion for the lost, particularly those in China untouched by the gospel. When she thought she was finally ready, the mission board to China rejected her candidacy. They viewed her as unfit for such a bold mission. God disagreed. Aylward was reading Nehemiah chapter 1 one night. She empathized with Nehemiah's sadness and apparent helplessness to help Jerusalem. But in the next chapter, she read that Nehemiah went anyway. In that moment, as if a person was in the room, a voice said to her clearly, "Gladys Aylward, is Nehemiah's God your God?" "Yes, of course," she replied. "Then do what Nehemiah did, and go." "But I am not Nehemiah." "No, but assuredly, I am his God." She said that settled it for her then and there. She knew God had chosen her to go to China for him. There, she took care of hundreds of orphaned children. During the Second Sino-Japanese War, her village was in danger, leaving her no option but to take over 100 children through the mountains to escape capture from Japanese soldiers. It was an impossible journey, but Aylward trusted God and proceeded. She had no food or other needed items for her journey, but she put her faith fully in God to provide and protect them. In one part of the journey, they walked for 12 days, often sleeping in the open. On the 12th day, they reached the Yellow River, but there was no means to cross it. All civilian boats had been confiscated to prevent them from falling into Japanese hands. The children inquired, "Why don't we cross?" Aylward explained, "There are no boats." Undeterred, the children exclaimed, "God can do anything. Ask him to get us across." In response, they all knelt, prayed, and sang. A Chinese officer on patrol, drawn by the singing, approached. With his assistance, they successfully crossed the river. Near the end of her life, Aylward said, "I wasn't God's first choice for what I've done for China. I don't know who it was. It must have been a man, a well-educated man. I don't know what happened. Perhaps he died. Perhaps he wasn't willing, and God looked down and saw Gladys Aylward and God said, well, she's willing." Aylward had no proper education, money, connections, power, influence, or training. But she depended on God as a child depends on a loving father. God used what the world considers foolish to honor his name. To him who rules all things, to him alone be all the glory, power, and praise, both now and forevermore.